Today's lesson. They say the devil works hard, but a scorned woman works harder. When you push a good woman too far, don't be surprised when she transforms into a she-devil and drags you straight to hell. Welcome back to Vixen Cinema. I am your host, Madame Belladonna. This is a show where we celebrate the wickedest women in cinema, because each time a woman stands up for herself without knowing it, possibly without claiming it, she stands up for all women. Maya Angelou. So grab a glass of wine and sit back as we see what real life lessons we can learn from today's Vixen. Today we will be watching the 1989 cult classic She-Devil. Considered a huge flop at the time, this movie is no masterpiece, but what it lacks in artistry, it more than makes up for in comedy. Let's dive right in. Meet our Vixen, Mary Fisher, a famous author and glamorous... God damn it, Belladonna, stick with the script. Fine. Meet our Vixen, Ruth, a sad, lonely housewife of 2 children, married to a social-climbing financial consultant with wandering eyes. All Ruth wants is her husband's attention, doing all she can to appeal to him. But unfortunately for Ruth, one fine day at a party, her husband sets his eyes on Mary Fisher. Mary Fisher is I'll let Ruth introduce her.
Mary Fisher. Mary Fisher is pretty and rich and thin and writes best-selling books about love. Fortunately, I can trust my husband.
A bad bitch. Ruth may not be the belle of the ball, but what she lacks in grace, she more than makes up for in faithfulness. But I can't say the same for Bob. After the party, Bob offers Mary a ride home, back to her mansion in the Hamptons. Are we sure this is not our Vixen? Yes. Leaving his wife in the middle of the street to walk home alone. Ruth, being the loyal doormat that she is, believes that her dear husband would never cheat on her. But what she doesn't understand is men are trash, and her husband stinks like the rest of them. Fun fact, before doing this movie, actress Meryl Streep was criticizing question as to whether she could do comedy. In hindsight, we now know how outrageous that criticism is. Vixen's Lesson 1. Never let anyone put limitations on what you can and cannot do. The same people that praise you for one thing will turn around and insult you for trying something new. If Meryl Streep, who is now known as somewhat of a comedic genius, listened to the criticism back then, we would not have movies like That Becomes Her. Do not let anyone box you in. Don't let them limit your art, limit your learning, and limit your life experiences, because most times they are projecting their own limitations onto you. And I will not stand for that. So anyways, of course, Bob and Mary hook up that very night and begin a passionate affair. In typical pick-me fashion, Mary Fisher grows tired of sharing. Even with all that she has, she still envies Ruth's life.
Ruth is blessed with those children. They're her pride and joy. It's not fair. I'm tired of sharing you with her.
Okay. I see now why she is clearly not our Vixen. Anyways, it seems like cheating isn't enough for a man like Bob, berating our Vixen with verbal abuse every chance he gets, even in front of his parents.
Barbara, you shouldn't have married her. Yeah, she was pregnant. You made me!
Like a typical man, he blames her for all of his shortcomings, gaslighting her to believing that she is the problem, while packing and leaving her for Mary Fisher.
What you are? You're a she-devil.
Well, that was the last straw. So our Vixen made a list, and with that list, she planned to take away everything that Bob loves. Doing every dangerous thing that a homeowner shouldn't do, Ruth easily accomplishes her first task. You know, I lost my second husband the exact same way. It was a gas leak, and the cops accused me of murder. Well, unfortunately for them, I know how to get out of interrogation.
God damn it, Belladonna. We know you blew that house up with him in it. No more games. Just tell us why you killed your husband.
Like I said, I didn't kill my husband.
And why exactly should we believe you?
But I believe her.
Well, that's certainly enough evidence
Was
for
so
me.
sorry to waste your time.
Works every time. Now left homeless, Ruth takes the kids to live with their papa, giving Mary Fisher the children she envied so much, and leaving Bob to clean up the mess. But Ruth's not done yet. In fact, this is just the beginning. Yes, now that's what I'm talking about. That is Vixen behavior. Pretending to be a nurse, our Vixen gets a job at the same retirement home that Mary's mother resides and takes note of one very important house rule.
Bedwetters have no place in the Golden Twilight home.
Meanwhile, it seems like Little Miss Perfect, Mary Fisher, is having some difficulties raising two spoiled brats, while Bob's wandering eyes are off on another target. Ruth, who builds a friendship with Mrs. Fisher and convinces her to pay her daughter Mary, who she barely has a relationship with, a little visit.
I'll put you on the train myself.
After losing her precious poodle due to an unfortunate accident and breaking a nail, ooh, I understand that part. Seems like Mary's dollhouse is falling apart. Vixen's life lesson number 2. In this life, one of the biggest mistakes you can make as a woman is building your happiness on being chosen by a man. I'm not saying you shouldn't seek partnership. There is nothing wrong with wanting a partner, but basing your internal joy of life on whether you have a partner or not will always leave you feeling empty when things don't work out. Stop wrapping your identity and your self-esteem around being with a man. Make some friends other than the man. Go traveling. Get a fucking hobby. All I'm saying is that the joy of your life should come from within. It should come from you. The man should just be icing on your cake. A partner to come along with your journey, not the whole journey. And honestly, this applies to children too. I said what I said. But surely things can't get any worse for Mary Fisher.
Mother. Hello, Your Royal Highness. You better pay for the taxi.
What are you doing here?
Oh, looks like I spoke too soon. Anyways, while Mrs. Fisher was away, Ruth makes sure she can never return to the retirement home by breaking the number 1 rule. Back at the Pink Mansion, Mary tries her best to keep things together for her interview with People magazine.
Porn for bored housewives.
Well, those critics are usually men.
Okay, Mary. I guess there's a little feminist in her after all. With her mother busy running her mouth to the
You
interviewer,
saying she was promiscuous?
Promiscuous. She was a teenage tramp. She couldn't get enough. She would do it anywhere, anytime, and with anyone.
Mary realizes this interview was a huge mistake. Anyways, with her new business partner, our Vixen moves on with her next plan by opening an unemployment agency for unloved and unwanted women. Women who felt discarded, invisible, and unappreciated.
Whether you're returning to the workforce or just starting out, unhappy with your present job or just looking for a change of pace, Vesta Rose is the place for you.
With her skin glowing, a new haircut, and a sharp power suit, Ruth's business starts taking off. So when Ruth finds out that Bob is looking for a new secretary, she had the perfect candidate in mind. While Bob is busy, Mary finds out her new book, Love in the Rinse Cycle, is a huge flop. And at the same time, the People magazine article comes out and it reveals that Mary Fisher's real age is 41 instead of 34 like she claims. Scandalous. But our Vixen is not finished with Bob just yet. Getting all the tea from Bob's new employee and lover, Ruth encourages her to confess her love to him because men love hearing I love you.
Love you, Bobby, I do.
His now jaded lover spills the tea that Bob cheats his client. So Ruth gives his clients a little nudge.
And transfer that into Robert Paget.
It's not like they were framing Bob, they were just making his thievery a little more obvious.
You know, sometimes you just have to exaggerate things in order to make people see the truth.
Receiving what she thought was a fan letter, Mary finds out the truth about Bob. But, like they say, bad news comes in threes.
I quit.
Take your filthy hands off her, Dorothea. You're fired.
Looks like Mary has had enough, so she lays down the law.
As long as you all are under my roof, things are going to be done my way.
But Ruth has a higher branch of law in mind.
By the proper authorities.
Sorry to spoil your party.
Trying to escape justice, Bob's lawyer comes up with a plan claiming it was a computer glitch.
Show that the largest transfer of money came from Mary's own account. We all know that was a mistake, right?
Absolutely.
So don't worry about a thing.
Cheating she can handle, but stealing from her? Well, she won't stand for it.
I want you out of my life.
And with the loss of Mary's support, Bob finds out his verdict.
A prison term of 18 months.
And Ruth is there front and center to watch it all go down.
I almost felt sorry for him. Almost.
Now that our Vixen has decentered men, looks like she finally has the happy ending that she deserves, running a successful business, getting her children back, and moving on with her life. As for Mary Fisher, she sells her pink dollhouse, releases a new book, and discovers the true feminist I always knew was in her.
Thank you.
And even meets a new potential lover.
Call me Mary.
Because a bad bitch always bounces back when she decides to put herself first and desentiment. You know what I'm saying. Well, that concludes our journey today. I hope you learned from both Ruth and Mary that once you decenter a man, not only will your bank account increase, but so will your self-esteem. Yeah. The critics gave this movie 48% and the audience gave it 49% on Rotten Tomatoes. I would give this movie 55%. Like I said, it's no masterpiece, but it is entertaining. If you want more Vixen tales, please hit like and follow for more. But before I go, let's play a quick little game. One must go forever from these 3 Meryl Streep iconic movies. My choice? Mamma Mia. Mamma Mia. Believe it or not, I do enjoy a good romantic escapade, but Death Becomes Her teaches us about eternal beauty through questionable means, and The Devil Wears Prada is a tutorial on wielding power. These are simply more valuable lessons to me, but that is just me. What about you? Which Meryl's masterpiece will you sacrifice? I'll see you next time.